So if you're a painter, Sherwin Williams they sell some of the finest paints. Every paint store does, Benjamin Moore. I'm partial to Sherwin Williams because once you start an account there, it's silly to go elsewhere. You wind up paying a lot more. But once you're a contractor and you establish a relationship with the representative from your area, they will recommend this. If you go in for the emerald urethane, I have to say, it's the best paint I've ever used on trim. Okay, it's water-based, and I went in there recently and went out to lunch with the rep, and he said, "Hey, why don't you get the industrial?" I said, "What about it?" He said, "Well, it's the same paint. We just, it's a plain label. We don't advertise for it, and you get it cheaper." So if you are a do-it-yourselfer, go to Sherwin Williams and get this paint for your trim. Okay, you'll pay a lot less than the urethane enamel, and it's the same stuff. This is a hybrid. It's clean up with water, unless you let your stuff sitting around for a while, then you have to clean it up with mineral spirits, but it's a hybrid. It's extremely durable paint for trim. It's scuff proof, scuff resistant. Let me show you how I suggest that you apply it to your trim. Now, you'll remember earlier in the video, we put a double ply of masking paper down. That's not so much to protect out here. Can you come in close and just show them how far I push this tape down? My tape is about 1/2 inch beyond where you can see it. The rug is completely protected. Now, let's talk about the paint direction. Which direction are you painting in? This way or that way? I'm going this way. Watch how I start, but most importantly, watch how I finish the stroke. I go back and forth to get it in all of these profiles. You got this one, you got the one on the top, you got this one. You gotta push that brush in there and give it a couple of passes to make sure you covered everything. Don't rush it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, watch this. Okay, now watch this. Look at the direction in which I finished the stroke. If I'm going this way, why am I finishing my stroke this way? Here's why. Before I started the video, I finished that about a minute before this video began. Now just follow me on the camera, please. Just look through your camera. So this is now about 3 minutes old. Do you think I should go over here and touch this? No, the paint is setting up. So you want to do what's called feathering with your brush, your stroke. So this is still recently wet. I can still touch this. So you're going to finish this, and now just come in close, please. Watch how I lift the brush. Watch this. Okay? I lift it off of the trim because I'm feathering it in. I'm feathering it in to where it's already setting up, not drying, but setting up. It's starting to get firm. It's also self-leveling. And I take off like an airplane. When it dries, you won't see any brush strokes because I'm controlling the direction in which my paintbrush is moving. I'm not just going back and forth. No, I'm finishing all this way as I paint in this direction. My body's moving to the right, but my arm finishes to the left. Because if I do it the opposite way, I'm going to be messing with paint that's drying. So my finish stroke goes from where I started the segment just up until the point where it's setting up. And I don't hit it, I lift off where it's setting up, so as not to disrupt the paint from self-leveling and from tacking up. Because if I do, this is what you'll see when it dries. You'll see the difference between, it's almost like the difference between colors. It'll be drastic. And when the light hits it, it'll be unsightly. I hope I taught you something about brush strokes. It's not just enough to use Floetrol in your latex paint, or mineral spirits, or Penetrol in your oil-based paints. You have to know the mechanics of using the brush. And most importantly, you have to know, number one, the direction you should be moving your hand in with the brush. And number two, you need to know about feathering. And feathering is just another fancy word for lifting the brush just before the paint, just before the point at which the paint is setting up from your previous segment. You're going to go in paint segments of about 30 inches. And then when you finish it, it's about how wide your body can comfortably go back and forth with the brush. Okay, any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you.